Most men have no idea what a woman truly does when she's around real power. Not fake confidence, not loud energy. Real, grounded, unshakable power. You think being nice is enough, being available, saying the right things. But here's the harsh truth. None of that makes her feel anything deep. Because women don't open up to words. They open up to energy. And a woman only shows certain sides of herself, vulnerable, feminine, chaotic, nurturing, when she senses one thing in a man: presence. That rare, heavy presence that says, I don't need you, but I'm centered enough to let you in. Let me be clear. A powerful man doesn't chase. He doesn't explain. He doesn't convince. He builds. He watches. He chooses. And because of that, he triggers behaviors in a woman that she doesn't even understand herself. The way she talks, reacts, submits, tests, it all changes when she's near that kind of man. You're not here to be liked. You're here to be remembered. You're here to become the man whose energy rewires how she views men altogether. So let's talk about the 5 things women only do for men who carry real power. Not just external strength, but inner dominance. Cold fire. That stillness she can't ignore. Number 1. She submits without being asked. Submission isn't weakness, it's trust. And trust is earned, not demanded. When a woman feels that you're grounded, unmoved by her moods, unshaken by her games, something inside her softens. Not because you told her to calm down, but because your energy made her feel safe doing so. She stops leading. She starts following. Not because you're loud or dominant in a cartoonish way, but because your silence carries more weight than her drama. She doesn't argue to win. She tests to feel your strength. And when you pass, her guard drops, instinctively. This isn't about controlling her. It's about mastering yourself to the point where she lets go of control in your presence. That's real power. That's rare, and she knows it. Number 2, she craves your attention more than your affection. Most men think women want constant affection, texts, compliments, validation. But when you're a truly powerful man, your attention becomes a reward. Scarce, valuable, earned. She doesn't want what's handed out freely. She wants to feel chosen. When you look at her, she feels seen. When you listen, she feels important. And when you withdraw, she starts wondering what she did wrong. That craving? It's not about love. It's about value. You've trained her to associate your focus with meaning. And because you don't give it away carelessly, it becomes the most intoxicating thing she can experience. That's not manipulation. That's discipline. And that's what separates the unforgettable from the replaceable. If you're the kind of man who leads in silence, hit subscribe and turn on the bell. This is the place you sharpen your edge. Number 3, she mirrors your emotional temperature. A woman in the presence of a man with emotional control doesn't try to lead the tone. She follows it. If you're calm, she settles. If you're cold, she seeks warmth. If you're unbothered, she becomes restless to reconnect. She adjusts without realizing it. Because your energy is the frame. And whether she admits it or not, she's always looking for a frame stronger than her own. When you're reactive, she tests more. When you're composed, she softens. That's the game. Most men fall into the storm. The rare ones become the eye of it. And when she realizes she can't shake your center, she gives up control. Not because you asked, but because you earned it. Number 4, she exposes her insecurities, hoping you'll stay. Most men see a woman's confidence and assume that's all there is. But when she feels real attraction, something changes. She becomes unsure. She starts showing cracks. Not for attention, but because your presence triggers something deeper than surface-level interest. She opens up about her past. She questions if she's good enough. She makes herself smaller, not because she's weak, but because she's terrified of losing your validation. And this is where most men fail. They either use it against her or rush to fix it. But a powerful man? He just listens. He holds the space. No judgment. No need to rescue. Just awareness. And that stillness, more than any compliment, makes her feel safe in a way she's never felt before. Number 5, she invests first. Most men chase. Text first, compliment first, plan everything. But a woman who feels the weight of your presence wants to earn you, not because you asked, but because your energy demands it. She starts checking in more. She asks where you've been. She offers to help, to contribute, to be useful. She becomes more intentional, more feminine, more giving. That's not her being kind. That's her signaling something primal. I see value, and I want to be part of it before someone else takes it. And here's the catch. If you give too much too soon, she pulls back. But if you remain focused on your purpose, her energy flows toward you like gravity. Because women don't fall in love with effort, they fall in love with impact. You don't need to remind her of your worth. She already feels it in how you move. Your silence says more than your compliments ever could. Your absence is louder than most men's presence. That's what makes her restless. That's what makes her obsess. She's not chasing you because you disappeared. She's chasing you because you disappeared and evolved. And that combination, distance plus growth, is rare. Most men vanish and stay the same. You vanish and become unrecognizable. That's what pulls her in. Not nostalgia, but curiosity. Not love, but power. She's not just wondering where you went. She's wondering who you've become. A woman's attraction isn't logical. It's emotional. And emotion responds to contrast. If you're always available, always kind, always agreeable, there's no contrast. There's no edge. But when she sees that you can shift from warm to distant, soft to stoic, light to serious, she starts paying attention. Because now she's not sure what version of you she'll get. And that uncertainty is addictive. It creates depth, mystery, challenge. And here's the truth most men avoid. Attraction grows in uncertainty, not comfort. Safety keeps her around. Tension makes her stay interested. You don't need to be unpredictable. You just need to be layered. Not every part of you is accessible. And that's the point. You see, the average man reveals everything too fast. His thoughts, his feelings, his intentions. He's trying to be transparent, but what he's really doing is bleeding need. Powerful men? They reveal slowly, deliberately, like a book she has to keep reading to understand, not a brochure she skims and throws away. And when she senses that you're not trying to impress, that you're not here for approval, her curiosity does the rest. She leans in. She wants to know what you're not saying. She fills in the blanks with fantasy, with hope. You become less of a man, more of a mystery. And that's when she starts thinking about you before she sleeps and as soon as she wakes up. Because men who say too much are easy to forget. But men who hold something back, they live in her mind rent-free. Most men are reactive. They respond to her energy, her moods, her attention. But the man she can't forget is the one who makes her respond. He doesn't adjust to her emotions. He anchors them. He doesn't chase highs. He creates stillness. And that stillness becomes the space where she loses control. It's not about what he says. It's how he carries himself. It's the way he walks into a room like nothing needs to be said, like his presence alone is enough. That's what shifts her energy. That's what makes her pause mid-sentence, lower her voice, and fall into rhythm with you. Because when a man leads with silence and intention, a woman's nature follows. That's why she doesn't just talk to you, she watches you, studies you, not for what you're doing, but for what you're not doing. You're not over-explaining, you're not chasing, you're not trying to prove anything. And that restraint? It hits her deeper than 100 compliments ever could. She begins to question herself. Why do I care what he thinks? Why do I want his attention so badly? And that self-questioning becomes obsession. Because once a woman starts wondering why she's thinking about you more than she should, it's already too late. You're in. Not through effort, not through words, but through presence, through control, through the unshakable energy of a man who knows he never had to perform to be powerful. You become the reference point. Every man she meets after you gets measured against you, not for what you gave her, but for how you made her feel about herself in your presence. With you, she felt feminine, soft, unpredictable, alive. Not because you tried to awaken that in her, but because your energy gave her space to be fully expressed. And when that's gone, she notices. The men who come next feel flat. They're too eager, too available, too easy to figure out. And so, she doesn't miss you. She misses how she acted around you. She misses the version of herself you activated, the version no one else seems to reach. That's the impact of real masculine power. It leaves a mark on her memory, on her behavior, on her standard. That's why letting go doesn't weaken your position, it strengthens it. Because a powerful man doesn't chase what pulls away. He watches, he waits, and he lets his absence speak louder than any argument. When she leaves, he doesn't beg. He levels up, quietly, consistently. And in doing so, he forces her to face a version of herself she can't stand. A woman who walked away from a man becoming unstoppable. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. Your growth is the closure. Your evolution is the response. And by the time she realizes what she lost, you've already outgrown the man she left. That's when the dynamic flips. That's when she starts reaching, explaining, offering, hoping you'll give her what she once took for granted. But you don't go back the same. You don't lower your standards just because she remembers your name. You don't shrink your energy to make her comfortable again. You return sharper, colder, more focused, not as punishment, but as proof. Proof that you were never waiting. You were building, growing, becoming. And now, the choice isn't hers anymore. It's yours. Do you let her back in? Or do you let her watch from a distance, realizing she had access to a man most women only fantasize about? Either way, she feels it. The shift, the power, the finality. Because when a man becomes his own source, no woman becomes his weakness. So remember this. Power isn't how loud you speak. It's how silent you can be without losing your center. It's not in chasing, it's in choosing. It's not about being desired. It's about being unforgettable. Women only do these 5 things for the kind of man who doesn't need them to. The man who's so focused, so grounded, so committed to becoming dangerous, in the best way, that her attraction becomes a side effect, not a goal. You don't chase her energy. You become the gravity she orbits. Not through force, not through games, through presence, purpose, precision. That's what makes you different. Not just a man, a standard.